Are you sick and tired of shooting wide right releases? Are you sick and tired because you can't match the line in the shot meter?
You have all this fucking money! You're not matching.
Well, if you're sick of shooting straight backboard, then lucky you, you've come to the right place. In today's video, we're finna go over pretty much every way to score the ball with the new Pro Stick feature. So obviously that's been the most noise over the summer, you know, all this talk from Mike Wang on Twitter, talking about how to use the Pro Stick. So pretty much what I'm gonna do in this video is I'm gonna break down every different way you can score and how we properly do that with the Pro Stick and get our little green midpoint in the meter and all that. So as you can see, when you drive in, I want you to look at the release. You notice how it says right, left, sometimes center. Pretty much the release feedback, when you do Pro Stick for scoring, it relies entirely on position. Notice it says release center. So if you didn't know, it has nothing to do with timing. You don't have to stress letting go of it at a certain time. You can lock it with the triggers. But anyways, bruh, we're gonna go to layups here and we gotta make sure we're aiming it correctly and not timing it correctly. So to start off, a left-handed layup, what you would want to do is while running to the rack, you hold your stick to the left because that's how you want to go up with the layup, to the left, and your player does this little two-step. But the second the meter pops up, notice how my meter, like the release line, immediately shifts over to the middle. And that's because as soon as I got the meter to pop up from driving with a left-handed layup, I held my stick down and then I have to aim it to that pinpoint in the middle. So pretty much when it comes to scoring, you start off by attacking with the hand you plan on attacking with, and then you're gonna intake, put your right stick down. I think it might work up too, but for what I know, you hold it down, and then you probably wanna move it a little left or a little right. So pretty much this is more of a reaction time thing. In this case, we look at something like hop steps, right? We're gonna be aiming our stick down to the left here, driving with a hop step to the left. So you run forward. When you pull your stick down to the left, you're gonna get a hop step, but to get that midpoint, to get that green release, I then pull my stick down, and that's how I make that little line in the middle. So pretty much, it's reaction time. What we're talking about here is a whole lot of reaction time. You start off by aiming to the side you want to drive with, controlling what you do, whether that be a Euro, layup, drop step, whatever that may be. And once your player finishes doing the animation and he starts to actually release the ball and the meter comes up, well then that's when we have to adjust. So you see here going to the right, we hold our stick down to the right to do the drop step, but in turn, once we start to release the layup, we hold the stick down or up, whatever it is, to pinpoint it in the middle, and then you're gonna wanna move it a little left or a little right based on where that little white line is that we're trying to angle at. So obviously the green window is pretty small and it can get frustrating, but this is gonna come down to reaction time at the end of the day. So in an example like Euro steps, I'm gonna hold my stick to the side, but then you're gonna have to immediately pull it down and pinpoint it to where you need it to be. So for Euro steps, we hold it down after we flick it to, or not flick it, we hold it to the right, and then we hold it down to aim it to the line. So when taking a Euro step this year, same as last year, you aim it to the right or to the left, opposite side of the ball hand. But to meet that green window, that little line, I hold it down. In this case, you see it's a little bit more to the left side of the middle, so it's probably more like down to the left. But pretty much a baseline that I use when I'm trying to line it up with the meter in the middle is once I start to release, I hold my stick down, and then from there it's gonna be a little left or a little right. That's pretty much how it works. So especially when you're looking at Euros or layups, you're obviously gonna hold your stick to the side because that's how you drive. But as soon as you hold your stick to the side and your player's doing the animation, my advice personally, start just holding your stick down, and that'll give you an immediate middle alignment right there. And then the spot that you might have to meet might be a little bit to the left or a little bit to the right. That's all based on where you are in the court most of the time. Sometimes it can be random, but majority of the time, it'll be based on your positioning. So you wanna make sure you baseline yourself correctly when trying to score. And that will definitely come into play with jump shots. For jump shots, obviously you just hold the stick down. If you hold it forward, I believe it doesn't even do a shot. I think it just dribbles. But notice right here, notice how I turned or moved and slid over my little line marker. I held my stick down to shoot, but based on where I was in the court, I had to aim it more to my left because that's where the basket is. So I hold down, and then I slide it over more to the left, which would be like aiming my stick down to the left. So when it comes to shooting, you start up by holding your stick down, but when it comes to adjusting it, you're gonna wanna move it either left or right on the shot alignment, which, like I said, this is a lot of reaction time based gameplay right here. This is definitely gonna come down to reaction time. If you're a player that doesn't have a lot of it, I would avoid using this. But if you struggle, Mike Wang did say you could click either of the triggers, actually, one or two of them, to pinpoint, to lock your line where it is if you get to that point before the meter is released. So that also helps as well. But when it comes down to it, you want to hold your stick down and then quickly adjust it to the spot it's at to ensure green. As you saw right there, I slid it a little bit to the left. So next thing we're going to look at here is we're going to look at moving shots, which fairly similar, almost goes by the same concept. You're going to run and you're going to hold your stick down, but you are going to have to adjust it based on where you are on the court, and that can be a little tricky considering you are moving in terms of positioning the whole time. So when it comes to fades, almost the same thing as shooting. You just run and you hold your stick down, but this can also come into case for floaters and fadeaways, close shots. It all falls to the same category. You hold your stick down, and based on whatever animation you get and what positioning you're in, you're gonna have to adjust it to the small green window, which is minorly to the left or to the right of the center on your shot meter. So for this, it's just like jump shots. You hold your stick down, and in most cases, you aim it a little to the left, a little right. But hop jumpers, see, this is the one that everybody has been messing up because nobody understands. All right, hop steps are a little different this year when it comes to shooting. So right here for hop jumpers, you hold your stick down like you would last year, but you also have to hold your left stick down. That's something I'll explain in a second, but that's been throwing everybody off. So you see here, I hold my stick down, but my green window point was a little to the left, so I slid it that way. But when it comes to hop steps in general, the thing that's thrown everyone off is that no one aims their left stick down with it. You see, I was running left, so obviously before this shot, I would run to the left, but when I go to shoot, I have to pull both sticks down and hold them down, and that's how you do the hop step. And in terms of that, you pull them both down while you're sprinting, and that's when you then adjust, in this case, a little bit to the right to meet the green window, or a little bit left when you're on the other side of the court. So that's pretty much how it goes down. And then lastly, we got post scoring. Post scoring is pretty basic. I'm not the most familiarized with post scoring, but from what I've seen, if you hold your stick down, you get a post fade animation. I've also tried aiming my left stick forward and backwards. Haven't seen much of a difference, but sometimes when I hold it backwards or forwards, I get the little elbow fake, the little shimmy fake before I fade. You guys that are crazy hip to post scoring, you guys will probably know, or somebody else will upload it. I'm a dribbler, but this is all I know. When you post up with L2 and hold your stick down, you get a fade. And assuming you're not in the dead center, you're probably just going to hold your stick straight down the middle and get away with it there. But anyways, bro, thank y'all for watching the video. Hopefully this helped y'all out. Y'all let me know if y'all have any critiques for me, and I can also help y'all in the comments. But yeah, it's been Matt. Thank y'all for the support. Tutorials dropping daily. We breaking this game down all week, and I'm going to catch y'all later. I'm out. Peace.
You've been on my mind like all the time. To get you out my